Welcome to our channel Valuable Coins All World. In this video, I gave you information about United States of America Washington quarter dollar, which are most valuable and rare. If you interested, please see this full video. Thanks. Top 1. Today, we'll take a deeper dive into this coin, exploring what makes it special, how to identify its unique features, and why it could be worth a small fortune. The Washington quarter, first minted in 1932 to honor the first president of the United States, George Washington, has gone through various design changes and types over the years. The coin is made of cupronickel, which gives it its silver-like appearance, and weighs around 6.25 grams. It has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, which is a pretty standard size for many U.S. coins. In 1994, the United States Mint continued the tradition of producing quarters with the standard Washington design. However, not all 1994 quarters are created equal. The coin was struck in both Philadelphia and Denver mints, and each has its own distinct characteristics, making it important for collectors to know which variety they hold. But even within those two varieties, certain errors and unique features could significantly increase the value of the coin. One of the most common 1994 quarters is the typical business strike that comes off the minting press and goes into circulation. These are relatively easy to find in change or through coin dealers, and generally, they don't fetch more than face value, 25 cents. However, the true value lies in some of the rarer and more unusual examples. For example, coins with minting errors are where collectors often find hidden treasures. One such error that has made certain 1994 Washington quarters much more valuable is the double die error. This happens when the die used to stamp the coin is misaligned, causing the design elements, like the lettering or images, to appear doubled or blurry. While most double die coins are easy to spot, some of them are more subtle, so it's important to carefully inspect each quarter, especially if you suspect that yours may be an error coin. Another interesting feature that can affect the value of a 1994 quarter is the condition of the coin. If a coin has been well preserved, especially one that has been uncirculated, its value will significantly increase. Coins that are graded at a high level, such as MS 65 or higher, are much more sought after by collectors. An uncirculated 1994 Washington quarter, especially one that has retained its original shine and minimal wear, can sometimes be worth much more than one that has been in circulation for decades. But perhaps the most intriguing 1994 quarter of all is one that has been meticulously sought after by coin collectors due to its extreme rarity and error. There's a specific variety of this quarter that has been known to fetch prices reaching up to $45,000. Yes, you read that right, $45,000. These coins have unique characteristics that make them stand out from the typical 1994 quarters, and if you happen to have one, you could be holding a piece of history that's worth much more than you might have thought. So, how do you know if you have one of these rare, high-value coins? It's important to get a professional coin grading service to take a look, especially if you suspect that you have an error or uncirculated coin. Coins are graded based on their appearance, and even a slight imperfection can lower its value dramatically. But for those lucky enough to find a 1994 Washington quarter with the right conditions, it could become a very valuable asset in their coin collection. In conclusion, while most 1994 Washington quarters are worth their face value of 25 cents, there are certainly exceptions. Minting errors, unique varieties, and the condition of the coin can all contribute to a higher value. And for those who happen to stumble upon the rare, valuable version, a 1994 Washington quarter can indeed be worth as much as $45,000. Top 2. The 1988 Washington quarter dollar coin may not be the first coin that comes to mind when you think about rare and valuable U.S. currency, but for serious coin collectors, it holds a special place. While the majority of these quarters are worth no more than face value, there are specific varieties, errors, and rare finds that have earned this coin a spot in the spotlight. If you're a collector, or even just someone curious about coins, the 1988 Washington quarter may surprise you. To start, the Washington quarter has been a staple of U.S. coinage since 1932. The coin features the image of George Washington on the obverse, designed by John Flanagan, and on the reverse, the eagle and olive branch, representing peace and the United States' power. But by 1988, the design had become familiar to many, as the coin had been in circulation for decades, and the U.S. Mint was continuing to produce millions of these quarters for everyday transactions. However, there's something particularly noteworthy about the 1988 quarter. While most of these coins are easily found in pocket change, there are certain aspects that make this specific year unique and attractive to collectors. As with any coin, factors like minting errors, uncirculated quality, and specific types of finishes can play a role in determining its value. And for those who take the time to study these coins closely, there could be some unexpected finds that are worth far more than you might expect. First, let's talk about the most common 1988 quarter. These coins were minted at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, and in most cases, they are not particularly rare or special. These quarters are often found in circulation and typically only worth their face value of 25 cents. However, their value can rise depending on their condition. If you find an uncirculated 1988 Washington quarter, it could be worth a little more, perhaps a few dollars if it's in excellent shape. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. The real potential for significant value lies in coins with minting errors. Over the years, various Washington quarters have been discovered with a range of unusual flaws, such as doubling of the design or improper strikes. These errors are what make certain coins from 1988 so highly sought after by collectors. One of the more exciting errors to look for is the double die error. This occurs when the die used to stamp the coin malfunctions, causing the design to be stamped multiple times, resulting in a doubled appearance. These types of errors can be subtle or quite obvious, depending on the severity, but when found, they can make a coin much more valuable than a typical 1988 quarter. Another factor that can increase the value of a 1988 quarter is its grading. Coin collectors and dealers use a grading scale to determine a coin's quality, and higher-grade coins tend to fetch higher prices. A 1988 quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially one that hasn't been worn down by years of circulation, could command a premium price. Coins that are graded MS 65, mint state 65, or higher can be quite valuable. If you have a 1988 quarter that has been carefully preserved and is still in mint condition, it could be worth more than you think. But perhaps the most extraordinary find is a 1988 Washington quarter that has been certified as an error or a variety that is extremely rare. Some coins from this year have been sold at auctions for impressive sums, particularly when they feature a well-known error or have an unusual strike. For those lucky enough to own one of these rare pieces, their value could be staggering. Now, what exactly makes the 1988 Washington quarter so special in some cases? Well, one of the most famous instances of this coin's incredible value revolves around a particular error variety that has earned a reputation for being one of the most sought-after Washington quarters from the 1980s. A small number of these coins, particularly those with minting flaws or misstrikes, have been known to fetch incredible amounts of money at auction. In some cases, these rare 1988 Washington quarters have been valued as high as $58,000. While most 1988 quarters will never reach that kind of value, the fact that such a sum is even possible shows the incredible potential of coin collecting. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced collector, understanding what makes certain coins valuable and learning to spot rare varieties is key to building a successful collection. If you're lucky enough to find an error coin or an uncirculated 1988 Washington quarter in your collection, you could be holding a valuable piece of history that might one day be worth a small fortune. In conclusion, the 1988 Washington quarter may seem like a standard coin at first glance, but for collectors who know what to look for, it can be a treasure trove of potential. Whether it's a minting error, a coin in exceptional condition, or a rare variety, the value of this quarter could be much higher than its face value. And for those with the good fortune to stumble upon a particularly rare example, a 1988 Washington quarter could be worth as much as $58,000. Top 3. Let's take a quick look at the standard 1993 Washington quarter. The coin, as always, features the profile of George Washington on the obverse, with a familiar eagle on the reverse. The design has remained largely unchanged since 1932, and the 1993 quarter is part of the same series that was first struck over 90 years ago. These coins are made from a blend of copper and nickel, giving them their characteristic silver-like appearance. In terms of design, it's a typical Washington quarter, and most of these coins are easy to find and generally don't carry any significant value beyond their face value. However, as with many U.S. coins, there are always exceptions. The 1993 quarter, while seemingly ordinary, has been known to surprise collectors with certain rare varieties and errors that can make it worth far more than you might expect. What makes a coin like the 1993 Washington quarter truly valuable are the minting mistakes, the condition it's in, and its rarity. These factors can make certain 1993 quarters worth thousands of dollars. If you know what to look for, one of the first things to consider is the coin's condition. Coins that are in excellent shape and have never been in circulation can be worth more than the average quarter. These uncirculated coins retain their original shine and detail and are typically free of any wear or damage that would occur through regular use. If you come across a 1993 quarter that appears to be in pristine, uncirculated condition, it could fetch more than a typical quarter, though still not reaching astronomical prices unless there's something particularly special about it. The real excitement for collectors, however, comes with the discovery of error coins. Minting errors are part of what makes coin collecting so intriguing and rewarding. These errors occur when something goes wrong during the minting process, resulting in a coin that doesn't match the intended design. Error coins often feature misaligned designs, double stamps, or other defects that make them unique. The 1993 quarter is no exception, and there have been certain examples of this coin that feature rare minting mistakes. One of the most notable errors found in 1993 Washington quarters is the double die error. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin shifts or malfunctions, causing certain design elements, like the inscriptions or the image of Washington, to appear doubled. These error coins are much more sought after than regular quarters because they're rare, and collectors prize them for their unique characteristics. If you have a 1993 quarter that shows signs of doubling in the design, it's worth taking a closer look, as it could be worth far more than its face value. Another important factor that can increase the value of the 1993 quarter is the type of mint market carries. The 1993 quarter was minted at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, and there are certain varieties of these coins that are more desirable to collectors. For example, quarters from the Denver mint, especially those in pristine condition or with errors, can be worth more than those from the Philadelphia mint. The mint mark, which appears on the reverse side of the coin, can help determine the origin of the coin and affect its value. But perhaps the most intriguing aspect of the 1993 Washington quarter is the possibility that you could come across a truly rare find, a coin that could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. While the vast majority of these coins are worth no more than 25 cents, a small number of 1993 quarters have been discovered that are so rare and valuable that they've sold for astonishing prices. Coins with rare minting errors, those in exceptional condition, or those with unusual strikes can reach extraordinary values. Some collectors have reported finding 1993 Washington quarters that have sold for as much as $43,000. Top 4. The design of the 1997 Washington quarter is the same as it's been for decades. On the obverse, we see the iconic portrait of George Washington, and on the reverse, the eagle, symbolizing strength and freedom. It's a classic American coin, made of a mixture of copper and nickel, giving it its recognizable silver-like color. These coins are a part of the long-running series of Washington quarters that have been minted since 1932, and like many coins in the U.S., they're produced in large quantities every year. But while most of the 1997 quarters in circulation are worth only 25 cents, there are rare exceptions that have caught the attention of collectors for their potential to be worth much more. One of the first factors that can influence the value of a 1997 Washington quarter is its condition. While most quarters see years of circulation, resulting in scratches, dings, and wear, certain 1997 quarters have been preserved in pristine condition. These uncirculated coins, those that have been kept in excellent shape, free from any damage or wear, are typically worth more than their face value. For coin collectors, the condition of the coin is a key aspect in determining its value. A well-preserved, uncirculated 1997 quarter can fetch a few dollars more than a typical circulated quarter. But here's where it gets interesting. The real value often lies in the rarities. Minting errors are another reason why some 1997 quarters are worth so much more than others. These errors happen when something goes wrong during the production process, creating a coin with a flaw or misprint. Minting errors can be subtle, but when they are noticed, they make a coin much more desirable to collectors. Some of the most common types of errors in quarters include double die errors, where part of the design appears to be doubled, and off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned. These errors often make the coin appear unusual, giving it a unique characteristic that adds to its appeal and value. One of the most valuable types of errors that collectors look for in 1997 quarters is the double die error. This occurs when the die that stamps the design on the coin shifts slightly during the minting process, causing parts of the design, whether it's the date, the lettering, or even the profile of George Washington, to appear doubled. This kind of flaw can be subtle and might require a keen eye to spot. But once identified, a 1997 quarter with a double die can be worth much more than a typical, flawless coin. These errors are relatively rare, which is why they are highly sought after in the coin collecting community. Another factor that affects the value of a 1997 Washington quarter is the mint mark on the coin. In 1997, quarters were struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, and each mint mark can influence the coin's value. The quarters minted at the Denver Mint generally attract more attention, especially when they're in good condition or contain errors. The mint mark is located on the reverse side of the coin, just below the eagle, and it's a critical detail when identifying which type of quarter you have. In some cases, certain mint marks are rarer than others, which adds to the overall value of the coin. Now, you may be wondering just how valuable a 1997 Washington quarter can really get. While most 1997 quarters won't bring you more than a few dollars, a rare error coin or one in exceptional condition could be worth a great deal more. The true gems of the 1997 quarter series, those that have minting errors, are in uncirculated condition, or are exceptionally rare, have been known to sell for prices that far exceed what you might expect. In fact, some of the most sought-after 1997 quarters have been known to reach prices as high as $36,000. Top 5. Let's dive into the intriguing world of the 1984 Washington quarter, its value, and the rare treasures that could make it worth thousands of dollars. The 1984 Washington quarter features the familiar design of George Washington's profile on the obverse, designed by John Flanagan, and an eagle with an olive branch on the reverse, symbolizing peace and strength. Like most of the Washington quarters produced over the decades, the 1984 version was minted in large quantities and is composed of cupronickel, which gives it that distinct, shiny appearance. These quarters were produced in Philadelphia and Denver, and they were circulated throughout the country just like any other coin. However, not all 1984 quarters are created equal. For the most part, quarters from 1984 are relatively easy to find in circulation, and their value doesn't go beyond the quarter's face value. But what sets the 1984 Washington quarter apart is the potential for rare finds. Some of these quarters were struck with minting errors, and it's these mistakes that make them highly desirable to collectors. Minting errors occur when something goes wrong during the production process, resulting in a coin that's different from the intended design. These errors can range from slight imperfections to more obvious flaws, and when a minting error is spotted on a 1984 Washington quarter, it can significantly increase the coin's value. One of the most exciting types of errors to look for in the 1984 Washington quarter is the double die error. A double die occurs when the die used to strike the coin shifts or is improperly aligned during the minting process, causing some parts of the coin's design to appear doubled. This can happen to the lettering, numbers, or even the profile of George Washington. The doubling effect is often subtle, so it's not always easy to spot. However, a double die coin is much more valuable than a typical, unblemished quarter, as it's a rare mistake that makes the coin stand out from the rest. Another type of error that collectors look for in the 1984 Washington quarter is an off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned in the press, causing the design to be stamped off-center. This misalignment creates a coin that has a unique, irregular appearance, making it much more valuable than a standard quarter. These types of errors are relatively rare, so when they are found, they often sell for much more than their face value. It's these sorts of rare mistakes that make coin collecting so exciting, because you never know when you might come across something truly special. The condition of the coin also plays a huge role in determining its value. While most 1984 quarters that have been in circulation for years may show signs of wear and tear, uncirculated 1984 quarters are much more valuable. A coin that has been well preserved, free from scratches or other damage, is considered to be in mint condition. For collectors, the higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Coins that are graded MS 65, mint state 65, or higher are typically worth more than their counterparts that have been circulated and worn down over time. The 1984 Washington quarter, in particular, can attract a premium if it's in exceptional condition, as collectors are always on the lookout for coins in pristine, uncirculated quality. But what about the real treasures? The true jackpot for coin collectors comes when they find a 1984 Washington quarter with an extremely rare minting error, an uncirculated grade, or a unique variety. In fact, there have been 1984 Washington quarters that have sold at auction for incredibly high prices. If a coin is in pristine condition or has a particularly rare error, its value can skyrocket. Some 1984 quarters have been known to reach as much as $53,000. Yes, that's right, $53,000.